My portfolio made a new all-time high. Welcome back to Investing for Generations, your channel for high-quality stock research for long-term value investor. And as every weekend, I want to give you my weekly update on my real money portfolio for week 21 of 2021. And I will show you when and how my portfolio made this all-time high. And I will talk about a little bit one of the hidden champions in this portfolio, really a company I think never talked about here in this weekly updates. So we will take a look at this great company. Then we will take a look at the sells and buys in my portfolio last week, the dividends, and the performance overall. So let's go. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe and follow me on my road as a long-term value investor. Thank you. So on May 27th, on Thursday, my portfolio made a new all-time high with 71.82%, which is incredible since the start of the 2nd of December 2019. And with that, a big outperformance to the S&P 500 over the same time span of 37%. And one of the best performer, and really I talk not a lot about this company because there's nothing a lot to say, is Scotiabank, or the Bank of Nova Scotia. Bank of Nova Scotia is 6.88% of my portfolio. Here you see the pie of my whole portfolio. And if you're new to my channel, you find deeper analyses to all of these companies on my channel, where I go through the business model, calculate the intrinsic value, and tell you when and why I bought these shares. So feel free to check these videos out. And Bank of Nova Scotia for a long period of time was the biggest position in my portfolio, now the third biggest position behind Intel and Berkshire Hathaway. I bought my shares in Scotiabank here on these green dots in the depth of the pandemic situation, and I bought at different times and always around $40. A little bit under, a little bit over. Overall, my purchase price in average is $38.68, and I purchased $4,100 into the Bank of Nova Scotia over time. And the performance overall is 80.68% for the whole position. This includes also the received dividends of $306.47. So overall, great performance since, let's say, a year or so. There is not a lot to say about the Bank of Nova Scotia. This is the reason I don't talk so much about it, because they just make their business and earn money. That's all. A very solid Canadian bank. And when we look at the long-term chart, this is a 10-year chart, then we see with the current price of almost $68, they are almost on the all-time high. The all-time high was in July 2014 with $68.30, and we are almost there. And so, of course, the question is why I bought in first place. And there I have to say the Canadian banks overall are very, very solid businesses. Very, very good banks, and also very good dividend payers. And at the time in the pandemic situation, almost all of them looked really, really cheap. And I decided to buy into Scotiabank just because it's in great business, historical great business. It seems like it was a good decision at the time. And I also made a video when I bought it. You find the link here down in the description or up on the screen. Where I go through the business model, go through the whole company, and then also explain why I bought especially into Scotiabank. So feel free to check this out. There you find a lot more information. And next to that, Scotiabank, of course, is a great dividend payer. They increase their dividends in 43 of the last 45 years. And the bank declared its initial dividend at the rate of 3% per annum on July 1st, 1833, and payments have been made continuously since. So just a great dividend payer over almost 200 years now. And so next week, Bank of Nova Scotia will report their Q2 earnings. Always it's important to look into these numbers, and so I will do. And if there is something exceptional, then of course I also will make a video about it. And overall, because this is a so solid business overall, I want really to keep Bank of Nova Scotia for very long term in my portfolio, also because of the stream of the dividends come in. This is of course very, very good. But on the other hand, of course, at some point when you have a run like this, an up run like this, at some point also the stock or the business is overvalued and way overvalued, and then maybe at some point also it's time just to sell because it's too expensive. Right now, with the prices around $68, yet it is overvalued in my intrinsic value calculation, which is a little bit tricky with the bank stocks. This is not that easy or not that clear like with other businesses, but in my intrinsic value calculation, I come to around $60, and so we are, yeah, let's say 10 to 15% over the intrinsic value already. This is okay for me, but of course, if this run continues to maybe $80 or $90 or whatever, then at some point it's time to sell. But we are not there right now, and so no need to sell. Just I will just keep it, receive the dividends, and be happy. And with that, take a look at the transactions of last week. And there is nothing. I really did nothing just because first of all, I was kind of busy last week, so not a lot of time to look into the market. There's also the reason there's no other videos this week. But also with this very high priced market, it's very difficult to find good opportunities, and so sometimes it's better to do nothing. And so I go with Charlie Munger, who said the big money is not in the buying or selling, but in the waiting. And so it's a waiting game now, just to wait for good and new opportunities. And we will see when they come, and then of course take the chance. This is sometimes really difficult because of course you want to do something, but if there is not a good chance, not a good risk and reward in the market, then the best is just wait, because chances will come. And also on the dividend side, last week nothing came in, so a really quiet week in my portfolio, and so nothing to say there either. Then take a look at the performance of the whole portfolio. First of all, take a look at the performance of every single stock, and there you see Imperial Oil is still the best performing stock percentage wise in my portfolio with 121.46% since I bought it. As I said also in other videos, here I also have to think at some point to sell, and because Imperial Oil of course is very related, belongs a lot to the oil price, I will think about to sell Imperial Oil when the oil price will be maybe around $75 to $80, because the oil business is very cyclic, and at this point the risk and reward is not good anymore. But we will see. Right now the oil price is around $70, so there's a little bit of more breathing room. We will see how this will work out. So far so good. After that, Ledger and Platt, my second best performing stock, Bank of Nova Scotia, and so on. You can look at every stock you like. And when we look at the bottom, Alibaba is the only stock in the minus. But also with Alibaba, just patience. It's a great business. I also explained this in my Alibaba videos. You also find them on my channel, as for every other business here in this portfolio. So just patience. Everything will be fine. No need to worry. And when we look at the performance of the whole portfolio, then we see that in 2021, since January 1st of 2021, my portfolio have a performance of 21.18% compared to the S&P 500 of 11.93%. So also only in 2021, an outperformance of around 10%. And as I showed you even before, overall, since the start at the 2nd of December 2019, my portfolio have a performance of almost 72% compared to the S&P 500 of 34.91%. So very, very good. The goal of my portfolio, the goal of the channel is just to find good long-term investments, find good businesses for reasonable prices, and then just stick with it until it gets overvalued and it's time to sell, or just stick with it in the best case forever and grow with the business. And so that's it today for the weekly update on my real money portfolio, my real money North American portfolio. I know already there's also a little bit of China inside, but mostly North American portfolio. Next week I will give you an update, my monthly update on my European portfolio. Videos about that, for example this one here where I give an insight to my full European, mostly German portfolio. You also find the link here up on the screen or down in this description below. And next week, because the month just ended, then I will give you my monthly update also on this portfolio. So if you want to see that and if you don't want to miss that, ring the notification bell, subscribe to my channel, and then of course also next weekend you will get another weekly update on my North American portfolio. So that's it for today. If you liked the video, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, and then we will see you next time with another analysis of another stock. See you then, take care, bye bye.